Hello, guys. It's gonna wait a little more until 8 p.m. We have more people here, and then I'm gonna start with something here. Hope that everyone's doing great. And they had some fun today. Tricky day today, for sure. Welcome, welcome, guys. Welcome, Husky, Start, Hunter. Tricky class as always when it's something a little more technical. People sometimes they don't love it, but it's really good to learn how to use it. How was your day today, guys? Rough? That's good. How was your trading? Kind of weird day, huge bump, and start going a little lower at the end of the day, and then mix earnings and everything. Didn't trade today, Husky? No, that's smart. Was tricky for sure. These earnings that we have tomorrow and Apple and all of that's gonna be complicated. Gonna wait just 5 more minutes, guys, and I'll start. If I have one person, I start. That's okay. I just wanted to share things that's a little more technical that normally we don't like normally guests like members always want to go straight to trading setups and where to get in, where to get out, and have all the indicators in it. But it's I find it really nice to have the how to use certain indicators as a reference because as I said on my other lectures, there's no one only thing that we can use by itself. So candles by itself or levels or indicators. It's always good to have a mix of help to decide what we're gonna do and how we're gonna start. Hey, Bobby. What's up, Shake? Good night. Amaida, how are you? Welcome. I have most of you guys are mute, so we can start the questions. If you have any comments, you can do it on the chat. And 2 more minutes and I'll start. Thank you for being part of the lecture and learning a little more technical things. As I said, normally everyone wants to just see where we get in and where we get out, but learning how to use different indicators is always pretty nice. And VWAP is one of the most important ones. And I have fun. I mean, one of the things that I like to do while preparing these lectures is to challenge myself with things that, we use them and sometimes we don't know fully when you get in depth of how they work and how they do. And every time you look at something different, so it's really nice. So 2 more minutes, 8:04, I start. Thank you for everyone. How was your day today, Jake? Was it good? Amaida? your day today? Did you trade?
It was pretty good. I did 4 trades. Won 3, lost 1. So not too bad.
Okay, nice. Any names that you find particularly
I was really on just SPY all day today.
okay.
So it worked out well. Caught the top and the bottom of it a couple times.
Yeah, I was able to get the when the crazy flush started, literally was selling some calls that were in profits. And when I started watching the candles, I chased a little and I got into some SPX puts and they paid amazingly. Yeah, that was fun. All right, guys, I think we can start. So thank you for being here. Uh, Today I'm just going to talk a little more about some more technical indicator, which is the VWAP. VWAP is one of those that we can use by itself. And normally we just like the VWAP, it's just the purple line that we all of us have in our charts, and not everyone knows what it really does and how we use it. And there are different strategies and different things for what you can use VWAP, but I just wanted to cover the basics. I want to try to do in each of my lectures to learn something that sometimes it's basic, sometimes it's some things that we take for granted. So VWAP, it's a really useful indicator that actually it's known, or that's what all like we are taught that mostly the bigger companies use, all the institutional traders use VWAP to make their shares. And I will go deeper into that later on. But that's their main um, indicator to see where if they're buying or selling. So what is VWAP? VWAP stands for the volume weighted average price. Is an indicator. Normally it's purple, like most of the default settings on most of the trading platforms have it in purple. So it's an indicator that measures the average price of a stock, like every indicator. But the difference that this has is the VWAP measures with both the price and the volume. So that's why this is a volume weighted, and that's why we sometimes uh, use it as a reference of how the day is gonna go, and if we're positive or negative on the trend. Because when you get the price of the uh, actual name that you're trading, and then you have the volume of shares that are trading, or volume of contracts that they are outside trading, you get a better reference of where the price action is happening, and it's going to help you decide if you want to go in or out, depending on where the price action is happening. So for traders, VWAP serves as a critical reference for the fairness, they call it, of the market. And by comparing the current price of the action, or the curves, or our candles with the VWAP, that's when you can assess if you're trading below or on top of the VWAP. So that's a easy way to consider if where the trend is going. If, like, normally when you see your purple line, you will see if I'm on top of the purple line, okay, we're positive. How separated are you from your VWAP? It's gonna know how much oversold are you, or overbought. And that extension is what you have to be careful. But we'll see this in more samples. But it's really important to know how to use it, and I'm gonna show you how to calculate it. Just, we don't need to, but just to you have a more educated knowledge of why VWAP is what it is. So how do we calculate VWAP? It's just by multiplying the price of each trade by the volume traded, and then divided by the sum of these values, by the total volume of the trade during the day. I will go through a sample that it's a lot easier to see it, but normally that's what we do. We just multiply the price of each of the trade that we're doing depending on the price that we're trading, like if we're buying at a certain prices, and then dividing that by the sum of that values by the total trading during that day. So this is the form, like the formula, if anyone like wanted to know it. But what we need to take out of this is how they trades with a higher volume. They are a reflection of how institutional investors work, and that's what I was saying. Normally, when we have like Citadel buying 500,000 shares or contracts of something, they don't go and necessarily buy the 500 in one, because they don't want to see us retail traders go to the level twos and see what's happening. Like when they want to kind of get into something and don't be too outside with what they're doing, they will go and divide this into little pieces, and they will do it like if they want to have 500,000 shares of something, they will go in about 1,000 shares here, about 2,000 shares, 20,000 shares, and until the whole move is made. And that's how they will separate it. But how they guide themselves is with the VWAP. So this is a easier example on how VWAP is calculated. It's just an average. So if we have three different trades that we have, and one we're trading one at 10, we're trading the second one at 11, and then we have another one at 12. Each of those are going to have different volume. Why? Because, well, at 10, there are only 100 shares that are selling, then 150 when it's at 11, or 200 when it was at 12. This is just fictitious, but we're talking there just to make it easier. And when we have to gather the data, then we know that for the first trade that we have, we just have to multiply, the price that we bought times the number of shares or the volume at that time. So we will have our different prices that we have here, 1,000, 1,650, and 2,400. So it's really fairly straight. And what this is going to take us is, how do we average this? How do we know which one is the middle? So, but if we just divide these prices by 3, we're going to get only the price. And then we divide this only with the volume, it's just going to give you the average volume of shares. But how does the VWAP does it? So we got a simple formula, which is we sum all those shares, we sum all the value traders, and then we calculate it by dividing it, the sum of the price times the volume divided by the total volume. So if we have the sum of the prices divided by the total volume of all the shares, we have that our average is going to be 1122. And that's how we can add all of these numbers and mix it with the prices and the volumes, and then we get into 1122. But we don't get to see that. Like we don't use that number specifically, but because we see it on the chart, we see it on the lines, so we don't use it that much. VWAP normally is Rafael. VWAP normally it's set, and I'll show it on the screen. Normally it's a lagging indicator, and normally has 2 days on the back. So normally it has the standard deviation that it uses is -2 and +2. So that's how it adds the average of the trade. And normally it adjusts on the when you change the chart, it will adjust to the price action. So how do we interpret now that we know how to calculate VWAP? We know that 1122 is a price, but what do we do with it? So what you do is, and that's, as I said, we don't like that much having all these slides or anything. We go to the action on the charts, and that's when we see the real action happening. But you will see how we can compare what the actual price of the VWAP is compared to the chart, just to where our chart is. And that's how we know if we're bullish or if we're bearish. I just took 2 samples today. This is an example of Caterpillar today, and you can see on this sample how we are above the VWAP. VWAP, the only indicator that I'm using and I'm going to use on this lecture is going to be VWAP. So you see how you can see that you will be able to take a trade, and then where you go back, then again, how it goes. as a reference where you are, and then you can add this with your levels.
Yeah,
So
all that-
you knew that if breaking this up, you could have sell here because you're next to your level, and that will be something that it will be useful if we were being in this case, a specific case. But this was a nice price action that Cat had today. And just to see an inverse, I grabbed today, this is Alta. Alta, we see how the price action tried to break, and then we got a reference. It goes down with the chart, then again touches. So you could have entered here at the break of VWAP, then you need to know, you need to have other reference on when to sell. So you'll see your other indicators, or you have your levels. Then if you were going longer, then you could have sell here, and then we cross a little higher, but then again, we're having a great resistance on our average price and volume until today here, that normally, but we'll see on the aftermarket and the pre-market, it's like straight lines up or down. Because remember, this is going to move with the average price, but then with the volume too. So we see these spikes in volume, then you see a straight line. And when this is like VWAP, it's awesome when we're side trending, but sometimes it's a little bit more difficult when we're having like big spikes on move on the prices, because it moves with the volume and it's going to get mixed with our other indicators. So this is it for the lecture part of the just meanings and slides, and then we're gonna go for more charts and questions. But the summary, the only thing that you need to know about VWAP is that we can use it to identify where to get in or where to get out, and we can use it to see where the trend of that certain name is going. So that's really important, because you're gonna have your levels, you can have your indicators, but you have this extra help that it's taking the price of the name that you're trading plus the volume of the day that you're trading, and into considering if you're gonna go up or down. So we will see more samples that I really like. But it's really, I just wanted to share how easy it is to calculate it if you would like to. So it's just the sum of the price of that specific. You want to calculate it for certain levels that you have, and you want to see where the VWAP will be. You can actually calculate as for the future. But remember, just add the prices that you're interested in, and the volume or the float that it's at those prices. And you can find all that information in any of the brokerage. But I'm gonna go and just remember one more thing, which is consider that all the indicators are lagging indicators. This is based in the past. So we try to predict what's gonna happen next, but you always have to be really important how to see. Microsoft had a VWAP that it was the Great Wall of China today, Rafael. Let's see it. Let's jump into it. I love it. I want to see some samples. I want to see some names that we can trade with it, and I'm going to show it right here. So I'm going to stop sharing this screen, and I'm going to jump into our actual chart screen, which is going to be here. And there you go. So for the ones that love to trade SMCI, look at it. This is great. This is today. This is the chart for today. Look at the only indicator that I have on SMCI today is VWAP. So you see how in these days you could see you could have entered VWAP here, but then you need to know where to get out, or you can, another technique or strategy that people uses is, if I get in VWAP here, I hold while we are on upward trend until we touch again, and then you have this move all the way here, and then you can see if we go down or it's just a touch and we go up again. So you moved from actually this price action here to this new price action here, and then another move higher. So the only thing that we're doing here is, I saw that we're holding VWAP, so I could have traded anywhere here and jump in and then set up my stop loss below VWAP and let it run. Let it run, let it run, and then could have sold it open, easy trade. And then when you see that we broke again, you could have entered anywhere here. And this is on the 5 minutes. And then hold, hold, hold. And you want to sell anywhere around here if you have another indicator, or just hold until here. And then you got this price action here. And same thing again. You see, only using VWAP. That's the only thing that we're using right here. So that's really interesting how with only one indicator, you don't need anything else. And of course, we'll see the volume because this is a volume weighted average price. That's what VWAP is. But sometimes we get super complicated on what to do. And then only with one indicator and our levels, of course, we're able to trade like SMCI, which is a complicated with a high volatility. Just look at how nice that is. So that's why I like to do this sort of blocks of they make it more visual and where we're trading. Let's see how Microsoft. What do we got on Microsoft? Oh, look, Rafael. We were above VWAP. We could have grabbed the call here and then get out here. So from here to here, that was a nice trade on VWAP, only using VWAP. Resistance, 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 the break of VWAP, get in. You could have traded here or just let it run all the way until yesterday or Friday. And then resistance, 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 resistance. Look at, you could have entered here and get out and one of your levels here and resistance. And then we have a try to, and look, interesting enough, then we're holding VWAP. We are on top of VWAP for the aftermarket. So do we have to see, like on the pre-market tomorrow, are we going to maintain ourselves above the VWAP? So that could be another entry indication. And the only thing that we need is just our purple line. So it's super, super easy to use it once you have your levels. So I'm going to jump to something a little bit more. Let's go to Apple. Let's see what we got in Apple. There's Apple with my levels and VWAP. Look how Apple is being below, up in the 5 minutes. So we could have entered in any of these and get in or get out or just scalp it on the way. If you are playing on the longer term, you could have wait until we have like we got here to and out and then break it up. So one of the things that you can see is like the visual reference of VWAP is we're on top of the volume and the price, and now we're below, and now we're worse. So this indication here says it's not looking really good for Apple for tomorrow. This looks like tomorrow, if we still around these prices and VWAP on top, and if we see that we maybe have on the opening a little pop up and then hold below VWAP, I'm gonna go for puts and try to see if we close this gap here. So this is gonna be very, very interesting. And the only thing that I need to watch is VWAP. Of course, we use VWAP plus other indicators. So we can know, for example, how extended I am. So, but if right now I'm only using my levels, I could have buy here at the break of the VWAP here. And if we go to the closer looks, look, breakout here, and let's go to the, I'm gonna go. I know that we should not use the 2 minutes all the time, but look how this, look at the VWAP, we touched it. And when we have a little space out of the VWAP, we could have entered here and look at this trade all the way to my level somewhere here and scalp. That's a beautiful trade. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Then this is not very clear. You could have entered here. And one of the things that's going to give you VWAP is a clear stop loss. You have a stop loss right there. Like
Ajá, barato lo de la señora más. Para mí es demasiado barato. 3 por 5 pesos.
Yeah, that's cheap. 3, 4, 5 pesos. That's cheap. I muted someone that was there. Sorry, guys. But you see in the 2 minutes, you see how we can use VWAP because it moves and with the volume. And this is a very great example of what I was telling you about volume. When we see, look at these candles here on the volume. Look at how the volume pump in. Then the VWAP also
Yeah,
goes really
it's going flag.
this.
Yeah, I missed that 12 pack. You ain't got none up here?
What do I got there? I got
You don't have
some
no
there
12 pack?
unmuted. There you go. So I'm gonna show you here, guys. I'm gonna add some of the studies. So I'm gonna add VWAP with let's add it with our 9, 21, and 50 SMA. So we're gonna see how we can use our older indicators plus VWAP to make our trade. So here, yeah, I added. If you wanted to, if you're using TOS and you right click on any of your charts, you can edit your studies, and I use the width of that indicator. I put it in 2 so we can look at it a little more clearly. But you can see how we break out of the 9 minutes and the 21 minutes here. And then you can use any of these breaks. Look, the 9 breaking above the 21, you know that you can get out of here. Then 9 again going up, little, nothing, not much. And the 9 breaking down again, and then another entry down. And then you know that while we're below the VWAP, it's gonna be, we're in a downtrend. We're in a downtrend, 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 downtrend all the time here. But I'm gonna just leave the VWAP just to make it easier, because I just wanna show you how easy you can make your life just by using VWAP by itself. But you have to have your levels and other indicators of where to get out. So let's see what our names like NVIDIA today. Look at NVIDIA, how we were able to use NVIDIA. I'm gonna shorten this, but look at NVIDIA today. If we go to the 5 minutes, we break out of the VWAP, and you know when you get a little space out of VWAP, you could have entered anywhere here. And I'm gonna make it the 5 minutes so it's easier for everyone, because I know that not all people see the 2 minutes. But if we see look at this, 5 minutes, you could have entered here at the break, touch it, and scalp all the way here and take your trade. You could have, this is my level, so I could have grabbed calls here and get out of my VWAP, because I know it's gonna be resistance. And then if you wanted, if you're using this as a reference, we break it, we hold, look at this week, how it hold VWAP perfectly. We touch VWAP and up, up, up. And where do we go back? Look, how do we resist? And this is the 5 minutes. So that's the only indicator that you really need to know. We're going up or down. We can mix it. We can add, maybe you want to just add one more. Let's add the 21. Let's go the simple moving average 21. Let's add it. Let's make it blue. So I have another color, and look, so now I have a reference. So I know that when we break up VWAP, I gotta be careful when, it's breaking up here and this starts to go down. I have to trim somewhere here, then it's closing by, and every time that the indicators start to going next to each other, it's like when you gotta be careful. This is coming down, this is going up. When they're really far away, there's a place when you can cut, or you can trim, or you can take profits. So, but I just want you to show you how by having just one, you can really know where your entrances is. And then of course we have trend lines that we haven't done here. Like if we have this and then I can draw and see in the 5 minutes that we can do this fairly easy. And now I know that we're breaking up VWAP, I'm breaking up my trend line, and I'm breaking up the 20. I know that we're going up here, and we're holding the 20, more confirmation, and we are not touching or not getting, and I'm not scared of getting out of this trade because I'm not touching my VWAP. So sometimes one of the problems that we have is, okay, I don't know, I don't hold long enough because I get scared and I want to take profits. You could have trimmed here, leave some runners, you're safe because we're not getting close our break even, and let it go. You take profits anywhere around this area and get out. And then it went all the way back to VWAP. You can wait until we break again above VWAP, and again another trade here. So it gives you the trades just by watching a little space out of because you need to have confirmation, guys. One of the things, always when you're trading, search for we touched it and okay, confirmation. I'm away of my VWAP. I touch it here. This one is not like, I'm not pretty sure if we're gonna break it or we're gonna hold it, because we opened here, we went all the way here, and then we broke to the next one. And when we touched it, and okay, this is confirmation, I'm getting in. I'm getting in, up, up, up. Look at this trade. So I just wanted to picture how we can use this. Like any other names that someone had problems today that we can show them how by using VWAP you can see your entries. Please feel free to put them on the to write them on the chat. On the examples where you missed the first pump, do you think the entering when you see volume still strong and it's detaching from VWAP is a possible entry? I mean, is it chasing it a bit, but with a plan? What's from SPY? Let's go to SPY. SPY. This is my SPY. This is our 5 minutes. And look at, this is what I got on SPY if I'm only using VWAP today. If I'm gonna take out the, just for the sakes of the sample, I'm gonna take the moving average away. So this is how we looked. This is where we started with SPY. It broke. We could have get here, but we got back at it. So this was like a fake out, and then we hold it, and you could have. I started to draw a trend line here, and you could have grabbed it here, anywhere here, when it's separated from the line, and it just went up. Then of course you can trim anytime. When I got into here, you could have trimmed here, and then we never got close back. So you could have hold your SPYs from here all the way until here. I grabbed some what was it? 513s or something here today. And in the aftermarket, when flips were closing by, and I did like 200% of those guys here from like 24 to 80 or something, just in this candle. But if you were holding your SPYs from here, you could have just let them go all the way here, because we've got never close to our VWAP. So everything, all this space that we have separated, all this gap that we have here, is that you're safe and you're in an upward trend. VWAP to 240 EMA. I don't have the 240 here. Let's see what. Let's see, let's add this. I'm curious why you're using the 240, but there we go. This is 240. You could have entered anywhere here and scalp it here, trim here. Then you got your trend line. You could have entered here on the 5 minute, because it is equivalent to the 20 EMA. There you go. And wow. So you can use it. But look, just by using trend and VWAP, this is your entry. I will exit anywhere here touching my trend line, because that's the first resistance. I will exit when I have my next indicator, which it will be my 20 EMA, and then you have another entry right here. Look at how I'm holding above my trend line. I'm holding above, of course, above here, and holding above my other indicator, and then you have another entry. But what I want to picture is like, once you grab your calls here on VWAP, we never got close to it. So you can just still be on this trade and not be scared that we're touching back at it. So you don't need to close the contract on these little pullbacks. You could have stayed, maybe add it if you wanted to add it, and then here you would have closed all your contracts green. So it's a really useful tool. And SPY moves have this, moves today that they were kind of tricky, but this move here was money, right? I grabbed some SPX contracts on the big pullback here, and then I grabbed more SPX here, and then I just got SPY because I can trade it 15 minutes afterward that we were closed. So if I go to the 2 minutes and we see what happened afterwards, I grab SPY here, and I ended up selling it somewhere around this area here, and it went higher, but this was money here on SPX. But just by using this, just by using our VWAP, we have a great sample. I like, it's, that's very personal, Hunter. You can use the 21. The 21, I'm gonna get rid of this. And then you can use, on the EMAs, you can use the 50. I like the 50 a lot. Let's put the 50 here. I like the 50 to be normally yellow. And it's just gonna give you, look. So you in SPY, you know that you got in here, when to get out. Then we broke down, so you could have entered here, puts, never touch it back. So you can keep your contracts, keep it, get out of here. If you were at this level, of course, you can grab it because this is a level. But when we break, like the idea of the VWAP is like when you're below the VWAP or on top of the VWAP, and then you can use whichever of those indicators that you feel more comfortable. So it's really, I like to have them. Some people like to use the 50 on the VWAP, or as I said, I have a study here that it will use the normal array of 9, 21, and 50 with VWAP, and it will look something like this. But you see, sometimes then you get really confused as which one do you wanna trade. Like if you're a scalper like a river, and then you just go from one to the other one, just scalp from here to here, from here to here, because it's the price going up from 9 to 20, 20 to 50, then VWAP here. But the difference that we have with the VWAP, remember, it's moved with the volume too. So that's why it's going to be closer to this section here. And then probably tomorrow we're going to see a line up and it's going to move different. But sometimes for me, I like it to be cleaner, and I use just different indicators. So that's one of the reasons why I like to have just, maybe VWAP, or another way that you can use it, guys. And I saw it on my study here. It's the VWAP with the B bands. So the problem with the Bollinger Bands is that you will have like your top and your bottom, but it becomes noisy. What am I watching here? So sometimes people use the Bollinger Bands as to know if I break up here on my B band, on my VWAP, I can get out on my VWAP, on my Bollinger Band. And then when I break my Bollinger Band down and I'm passing VWAP, I know that I can follow on my Bollinger Band. But it gets confusing. I don't know about you, but sometimes when I see these, it's like, sometimes when you're, maybe a little bit simpler, it will be nicer. So this is another way to show it. I got here only this is my 200, this is my 50 EMA, and VWAP dotted. So you will see, I like to see the difference of, okay, this is just gonna give me an entrance and a trend. I know that below this trend line, below, above this, I'm trending positive, I'm trending bullish. And let's go to other names so we can see it. Let's go to, what do we got? Tesla today. Let's see how Tesla looks. This is our Tesla in the 5 minutes today. Look, Tesla, since we got in the morning, we have them fake outs here, little trims, scalps, and then here, if you wanted to grab calls on this one, because you could have grabbed here and stay, put your stop loss, maybe faked out, go down, quick scalp, nothing happening here, but this break plus the trend, you got all this move until your next level, and then it came back right here. Even though if you waited all the way to touch back to VWAP, you made this high here. I mean, you didn't profit from the highest, but it kept going there. And the important thing here is like on the bigger time frame, I go to the 5 minutes, well, let's go to the 15 minutes, is that we were above, below, and then you see that it goes from the opening of the day until the close of the day. Opening of the day, closing of the day. 5 minutes is gonna give us a clearer one. So these are different ways on how you can use the VWAP just to locate yourself where you are, and how to how to even get into the trade. And again, this is a simpler way, just using it, just a line. It's gonna be purple. And then see, in the 5 minutes, we are holding, we're not breaking up. And when you see this space here, you could have, after this, and any of these candles, you could have entered, and then scalp until here, and then second scalp until here. And then like on the pushback too, enter on your level here, break of the trend, and then scalp all the way back to VWAP. So those are different ways to use it. I mean, it's really not that much. I just wanted to show you how fairly easy you can use one name, and we can find it in endless names. Like we can go to Moderna, and you see how we just trended above VWAP, trended above, a little look below, don't touch, and then added with, I don't have many levels because I'm not trading currently Moderna that much, but let's Eli Lilly. It's this is gonna be tomorrow earnings, and with the weighted, like the new pharmacy medicament that they have, people is expecting that this thing is gonna go up. So the close of the today above VWAP might be a good sign that, you know, it's gonna do great. But look how we can just use it as an entry level on the 5 minutes. Grab it in any of your, this is a point here, so you can grab, I can get my levels, scalp, then enter, or just get out when it touches back. Here to here, you got all this move, and you're out, and you're safely out. So it's really nice. It's really it is simple, Rudy. Once you have, look, I'm not doing any, I'm just following where this crosses, where the charts are crossing our VWAP. That's it. We're gonna get fake out. So one of the things that we need to do all the time is, as soon as you're like, if we're in this chart right here on the 5 minutes, and we're watching this going down, not really, it touched our level here, it's going up. Look at this beautiful, strong, bullish candle. Then we have a hold, and when you see this candle breaking any of this, you could have grabbed, you know, this candle up here or this one, and then trend it all the way here, and then from the level all the way down. And the thing that you need to do here is, where do you set up your stop loss? You have to set your stop loss as fast as you take your trade, and you protect yourself. And sometimes the VWAP is gonna give you, is gonna show you, you know, if I take these puts here, I can put my stop loss anywhere in between these candles here, and I'll be sure that I'm not gonna be on a push up. I'm not gonna be taken out of my trade, and I'm gonna be protected of my, if I just were betting on the downside. And then again, if I'm betting here on the upside, like here, and like if we don't have a clear candle resting above our indicator, you don't get in. Like here, this one is, I would have entered here and then waited here because we never crossed it back, and then profit at this point. So you gotta have comfort that if you don't break down, you can hold it, and you're not gonna be red, nothing's gonna happen, and the move is gonna go. Prefer during the past classes, which ones are they want that ones again? My preferred EMAs. My preferred EMAs, guys, are gonna be, I use this one's here. 9, 20. And actually, I changing this. I use the 21. I'm using the 21. I'm using the 9, 21, 250. And this is a daily SMA, which is different. Daily SMA, which is important. Remember, daily SMA, I use them for the longer time frames. So this will look something like this. If I'm here on my chart, I'll go here on the 4 hours, and these are my daily SMAs, the 20 and the 50. And I always look for them on the bigger time frame, and then I have my mix of smaller ones on my smaller time frame. So here I can guide myself on where my daily SMAs are, and I'm gonna look for Lily to break up and hold above this level here with 752. Let's see if that happens tomorrow. VWAP right in the beginning is at the beginning is a bit tricky with the volatility. I love it to use it when things settle for a bit. Yes, Rafael, you're right, because one of the things that you need to be aware of VWAP is that it works with the volume. So if you take a little longer and let the chart work, then you will see it will give you easier trades and easier signals on when to use it and where to get out. And remember, guys, you have all you can go and jump from your studies if you're using TOS. So in the same chart while you're watching, you can just change your studies and jump from one thing to the other one here, and you can save the study, you can delete it, you can load them, remove them all, edit them, and it's really useful because then you can see different things if you're trying to look for, a clearer indicator on when to get in or where to get out. What else do we got tomorrow? We got an AMD somewhere. Look, AMD, where we are compared with just VWAP. We were below VWAP here. If we crossed it here, look, you leave. This is a good example for Rafael. This morning here, we broke it down, but look at the breakup. Hold it here. We could have jumped here on VWAP on this trade. Then get out here, stay, or just get out here and you will profit. You don't do the maximal profit, but then you have your levels to help you out where to get out. So you have to use it with, in company of other indicators or your levels. And then same here. You got this huge pump today here, go down. You could have grabbed it here and then scalp it here. And then on the way up, grab it here and then just let it rip.
They can get one of these visors.
All the time, you can be safe that you're in this trade unless we touch it again. And then we touch it again, you're up. And then since you get in and you get out, you have this little up, or you trim it right here and then on your next level. So it's really, really useful. Amazon, shake. Amazon. Look at Amazon, what it did. Break below VWAP, money entry right here. And it coincides. It mixes with our level all the way down, touches our trend, you're out. You let it run if you want it. No clear candles on top, nothing. I mean, if you see this, you can also, another scalp on the way down. You could have entered here and did a little quick scalp here. And then again, when it hold it above it, all this, but it's already all gone here at the end of the day. But look at the volume candle here. That's why we have this we're gonna have like a little spike up here.
No matter
tomorrow.
how many times.
So this is pretty much what I have just to show you guys how you can just trade with your trend lines, your levels, and just VWAP. You don't need to have everything else. Of course, volume, because this is based on volume, but you don't need to have so many different indicators. I mean, they are useful, but you need to know how to use them all mixed up. So I'm gonna ask anyone, like, you have any more questions, please write them on the chat if you want to see other names, and we can go through them. But my idea with this is to show, look at this Amazon shake. Amazon here on the break of VWAP, and look at this trade all the way until we touch it back here. You could have just buy calls here, just let them run all the way until you're another trend. So you have the trend on Amazon, and then we're just, now we have a resistance in Amazon that became our support, and now this is becoming support in Amazon. So it's looking pretty good for tomorrow to keep going up. And then of course we have to change our time frame and look what's happening with Amazon. Amazon breaking out of the trend. Now I expect this to break up, and then I will make a new trend with my chart here, and it's gonna become something like this on the way up, depending on, I mean, it's gonna go this way depending on tomorrow, and we have a new trend on the way up. And this is break and hold. Can you show, Rudy? Yeah, this is a break and hold.
Waist mid video. Do you see this?
Look at this, Rudy. Break and hold. This is my trend. This is a downward trend that Amazon had. We touched it. Look at how do you trade those trends? You grab it here, calls, you get out whenever you're back in that trend. And then this level, if I go to look, resistance, touch, we're in between, touch back again, up, resistance, and now we're trading above the level. So they normally this is called a break and retest. Break, retested, and now we bouncing away from it. So this is a if you are in the 5-minute chart, or you were trading just today in the smaller time frame, it's really maybe a little bit difficult to trade. But if you're trading in the 1 hour, this was money here to get in anywhere here on Amazon and try to see if we go back to this level here. And that's why you need to move from different time frames. On the same with VWAP, yeah. You say break and hold. The VWAP is when we do the same with the VWAP. Look at here. We were holding. Look at VWAP here, below, and then here. Now we broke it on this candle. This candle we were below. It traded all the way until here, and when this candle start, when it came here and it started becoming until here, because remember these ones they open up here and it became red just because it entered here and it went down here. And when we got this on top holding the VWAP, this was a money entry here, all the way to scalp this and stay on the trade. So it's gonna depend on what your time frame is on the trade that you're doing, but you can use VWAP as a now it's holding above, and now we watched it here below a little bit, and now again we're on top of it. So Amazon is looking great so far for tomorrow. Let's see what the earnings do and how it holds. I don't need to move I will only move my yesterday high of the day. So this will be the high of today. Overnight low is going to depend on the pre-market tomorrow, but I just moved my main indicators here. So these are my levels on I daily moved yesterday low of the day, and the overnight high is going to be somewhere around here, but I expect that we're going to break this up and we're going to be somewhere around here. So I'm just going to leave it there until tomorrow, and then I will set this up, and then we have earnings tomorrow after market. So another thing that we can do perfectly here on Amazon is that we're going to hold, go down somewhere, and then if we're expecting to have big earnings, people is going to sell off and then jump. So be aware with that. But Amazon contracts, or Amazon are going to be, all the contracts on Amazon are going to be probably, for if you buy same weeks, are going to be very expensive. Look, I like everything. I do volume and open interest. I like this one here. I like this one here, 195s, 190s, and the cheapest that I will go, it will be 205. That's the cheapest that I will go. Look at how many people are here, and open interest and the volume on this at 0.2. That's crazy. But this is the cheapest that I will go. But tomorrow this is always going to change. This was today's. So any questions, guys? Any other names that you would like to see? How VWAP is clear, how VWAP works, and how can you use VWAP to reference yourself, how to use it above or below when you're trend. It's really easy to use. And remember, you can mix this with one other indicator, and you don't need to have like thousands of things. If you want to use them and you know how to use them, it's perfect. But if you want to be simple and just watch a reference on where to get in, you can only have VWAP. Let's see what other names do we have here that we like. What do I got here? And these five. Let's go to coin, which is normally trending right now. See, look at how we can. This is on the 1 hour. I'm gonna go to the 5 minutes, and we just grab here in the 5 minutes. Look at the 5 minutes on coin for a second. Look how can we see, like, look at an entry here, entry, up, you get out, another, you're out of the contract here. Another entry, we crossed it, up, perfectly. You trim, then if you didn't grab this, you wait until this one. When it goes up and separates from VWAP, another entry right here. So You got entries here, entry here, entry here. Whatever you wanted to do here, then you have a little entry here, not as much. I mean, remember, every time you enter, you put your stop loss at 10%. 10% stop loss is going to protect you from any, problems. And then here, you see when we broke it down, and this is today, when we are in the 5 minutes, and we are not really, getting a very away from the VWAP, and we're holding, and then now the support is becoming resistance. This is a beautiful entry for puts on coin today. Beautiful, amazing entry here, and roll and getting away and away and away. Remember that the space that you're getting away from VWAP, this is where you're getting on your trade. That's your safe net that you're like very, you should start trimming and you should be in a lot of profit. Don't let it go back again, really close to your VWAP. That's how you need it. Viral, you want to go to SPY again? Yeah, show you SPY. This is today in SPY. Look, entry in SPY here. It went all the way up, then came back. Entry here, scalp again, went back here, then became resistance, went all the way down to this level. So again, resistance, scalp, then up a little, you protected yourself with a 10%, put a scalp here and get out. As soon as you see that it's moving 5%, 10%, you move your stop loss somewhere positive and you're out of here positive. Then again, look at this, out, and look at this one here. Look at this entry here. When you see this candle down, and this one was a crazy one. So this wasn't predicted as some news or anything. So this is not something that we could foresee, but this one was. Here, like from this level here until here, I would have traded until here. And that's it. So those are ways on how are we able to use just one indicator and our levels plus volume. We have the volume, jumping in here, and then we know that this is gonna start moving close to the price action. Let's see if your questions, guys. For the time frame, how significantly it will impact the trade entry when using VWAP. Still about a little bit confused. VWAP will adjust to the price of the time frame that you're watching it. VWAP normally is set to be at the when you go into your VWAP, it's set to -1 and +1 in the day on your standard deviation. So it's set to that and will adjust to your price action. If you go from here to my 30 minutes, it will adjust to the candles action. And then if I go to the 2 minutes, same thing, it's going to adjust to the action. So again, look at the same thing. Up, it crosses down and holds down. You have puts, crosses up, you can grab calls and move your stop losses. Crosses up, this is an entry for calls. Here is a resistance. So entry for puts, resistance. When you got this candle, taking a little space away, entry, put your stop loss at VWAP and let it run. Then again, never got close. This was like, we never saw this coming, but I got this, I got the calls here. I got SPX calls all the way here. And when I touch here, I got spike calls, because if you got SPX, you are not able to trade this last couple of 10 minutes. But with the SPY, I was able to trim on these last candles here. So I hope it works, guys. It's a really easy indicator to use, because it's just gonna give you, when it crosses, you enter, and then you just set up your stop losses near by 10%, 5%, and you have to guide yourself with other indicators or your levels to where to trim. But once you're up and it start moving up, you just move your stop loss, 10 positive break even or 5%, and you let it run. And then it's a matter of when you decide to take it and what are you looking, which other indicator you're using to take your trade. So remember, you can mix this with any indicator, and this is how it will look if we use it with our just regular 99, 9, 21, and 50 EMA. So you decide with which ones. If you are an indicator trader and you like to see like this little scalps, when you can, there are some ways to scalp just when we break here until here, when we break this one until this one, and that's how to use scalp indicators. You jump in here until the break of this one, and you're out. And those are for quick scalps. That's good. Roberto, what's up? VST, bro. VST. What do you got there? VST Vistra. What is it? Look at Vistra on the, this is the 2 minutes. I'm gonna go to the 5. And this is what we got. Look, I'm just gonna leave again, VWAP by itself. Look at this. We got in here, if you wanted to jump in, and then just let it run. That's it. Just take profits whenever you wanted to trim. You got your levels, and then you start trimming. When it gives you this space away from a name, you just keep, writing your contracts until you are out or you're taking your profits. You don't need to be worried about it. But here, I would have taken it here. This is my range from 9:30 to 11, my opening range. So look at how it worked perfectly on the opening range. Dun, 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 you're out, and then a couple of runners you would have trimmed any on this push. Snow, same thing, same concept, guys. Really easy to see it. Look, this is snow in the 5 minutes. You jump in at the opening on the bell. When we cross down, you can get into puts right here when it's crossing down. Get out here. If you wanted to jump here, of course, you can jump in, but then you didn't, if not, when this candle opening up here, you get in, then you're out. And it's really, really useful to use for entries and exits. So I hope that you like it, guys. I love that. Thank you for the attendance and for your questions. I hope that you can use it tomorrow and try to, play with your studies. Take all your studies away and just use one and see how it moves with your trade. Look at, I have Marvel. I show it to another member today, and he was telling me about the trend line. And now I have a level, and a trend line. So I know that I could have jumped here for calls, just calls, and I could have trimmed here and trimmed here. This is the only thing that I have on my chart. I don't need to have thousands of things looking at it. Just by having, this is my opening trend, my opening range. And then I knew that if we broke down here, I could have entered puts. If I did not take that puts, I could have waited until hold of VWAP, grab them up, trade here, and then again, down and up and down. So it's just, this is where it gets tricky, that it goes up and then down. Then you put your stop loss right at 10%. And when it moves away, you move your stop loss right away. You move it and you got stop out, well, you're out. And then again, you got out. So now you're looking that we are coming back in a lot of resistance, coming back to VWAP. Then, okay, there's a change of the trend. Now we're down, and that's how you use it. So what about 412 SPY Friday expirations? I don't know about that, Roberto, because we got to see what happens tomorrow. Like these guys here, I'm not going to be able to watch until I got to move this a little. Let's see. What do we got here? 2, 3, 6, 412. 412 in SPY. What are you talking about? Talking puts. We're far away from the range. But that's about it, guys. If you have any other questions, let me know. I hope that now you can please try tomorrow, guys, just to set up your VWAP only. I was trading today with my VWAP only, and I did it as a test, and it's really interesting when you just trust that level, which, remember, it averages your price action and the volume action. One more, let's see what we got. MPC for Roberto. NPC. This is what we got. Look, entry and calls here. Trim. You still in your contract because we never touch back. So you never trim out of it. Up, you get out. And then here, it's where you get out. But you took profits here and here. And then when it breaks down, puts, trim, and then breaking up again. So fairly easy to watch, guys. Just follow this and try to make it tomorrow. If you don't have a retest of the VWAP, is because that trade is gone. So if it's here and you're trying to jump anywhere here, that trade is gone. You need to wait for a retest to get in. If you're far away and you're far away and far away from it, I don't know which other name, you're out. That's it. It went away from your. You need to find another name. Like if you're trying to get in here, unless you have another indicator, this trade was gone here. The entry was here. Look how beautiful outside. You get out, and then when it goes back in, this is when it's gonna give you a new entry. Or, now it's gonna go down. But you have to be careful with how many touches you have, and that's how can you use it to know that we are in an upward trend. We're in a bullish trend when we are above VWAP, or we are in a bearish trend when we are below. Look at SOX, it's been up, up, up. So it's really nice. Yeah, SMCI it's a great SMCI. Look how this looks. Up. Look at SMCI with only VWAP. Calls all the way until the end of the day. Out. Again, another day, calls, breaking VWAP, all the way until the end of the day. Calls, breaking VWAP, all the way. Well, this one kind of went back up. But if you were to get out and have your stop loss here, you have the trade from the break until here. But of course, you have to have another, when you're here at the high of the day, of course, you're out, completely out. But break, break, and break. Beautiful trade. So I hope you can use this tomorrow, guys. Use it as a reference, a simple reference. And if you have any other questions, just let me know, DM me, or if you're trading during the day tomorrow and you need any help, or you want to see this, how it works, just let me know. I like the 5 minute spiral. 5 minutes for me is the ideal. And I would like to add for another lecture, the anchor VWAP. Anchor VWAP is going to give us a specific trades like a Bollinger Band within the VWAP. So it's going to give me a level below and a level above. So it will give me better level where to trim. But that's we need to use another indicator that is not normally in all the brokerages. So that's why I don't want to talk about that one. But if you're very curious, you can go with the anchor VWAP, and it's a really nice mix to use both together. I hope so. The VRT is going to go parabolic. We'll see tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be interesting because we have those earnings tomorrow morning. Eli leading in the morning, and then we have AMD. So we'll see what's going to happen. Guys, thank you so much for the attendance. Thank you for your questions. Please let me know if you have any doubts. And I hope you liked it. If you don't, and you have something different that you want to see on the lessons and the lectures, please write me any feedbacks, because we're trying to educate and share what we know and how we use those knowledge. But if you have some new ideas or anything, just let us know. Okay. Have a great night, and have a great trading day tomorrow. See you guys.
Hay que dejar un pedacito de adelante.